What is that? All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming this evening. We're going to cover tonight KVCORE, landing and squeeze pages. I put 2 documents up. If you weren't here, I will put them up again so that you can print them off and have them, and pretty much step-by-step instructions on what needs to be done in order to fill out and complete a landing page and a squeeze page, and what each one of them are used for. So let me bring up the KVCORE site and get it shared. Okay, why are we not sharing today? Not my day. Why is Zoom not working right? Can everybody see my KVCORE page?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, great. Wonderful. So when you open KVCORE, what we're going to do first is go to your lead engine, and we're going to do landing pages first. So we're going to go build a landing page. What landing pages are for is really for you to get information from your audience, whoever they might be, buyers, sellers, agents, other agents, whoever they might be. And you'll see along here, what we can do is there's many different things we can do, right? So under the top left-hand side, we have lead generation. So you have lead generation, video view. So right now we're on the lead generation page. All of this text here can be changed. So I can go in here and make this, Donald's real estate deals. I can change anything here, as well as here. I can delete, I can take out, I can do whatever it is that I want. And under lead generation, what we're looking for is to generate leads. So we want some of their information, right? So we're looking for an email address. We're looking for a cell phone number. And whatever it is that we want them to reply, whether it's call or, whatever. In this case, this was kind of set up as an email, real estate deals, right? Whether it's a price reduction, whether it's fixer-uppers, whether it's distressed properties, what have you. So it just says, see, you put your email and your cell phone number in. Cell phone's optional. And you can see the list now. So what it'll do is it'll generate the list, bring it up on the screen, so on and so forth. You can change this background, and we'll get to that in a minute. But so that's kind of what a lead generation page looks like. You have a video page. So what it does is it'll take what we had up here earlier, or you can change it again, as well as add a video. So now I'm not looking for their content, right? I'm not looking for their contact information. I'm merely looking up and providing information. Now, what this video tells us, this is a video.
Here's how to change the video on this page. Your video will go right where this current video is. And the first step is for you to upload your video to YouTube. So once you've got it uploaded to YouTube, the second step is going to be to insert your YouTube video ID in the box up above, which looks like this. So if you look up top, you'll see a box that says YouTube ID. Now the ID is the V parameter, and that might sound fancy, but basically it's the number and letter string, the stuff after the V in your YouTube video URL. So what I have for you here is an example of a YouTube video URL, and you can see that it's got this question mark V equals, and in this case, you would just take the stuff after the V. Now, if you see another and sign and other content here, like an and sign after this V, and you see more stuff, just ignore that and only get the stuff after the V. Hope that makes sense. If you need any help at all, feel free to just email the link to your YouTube video to our support team from your KVCORE or K+ dashboard, and we'll isolate and give you the YouTube ID. Thanks a lot.
So that's a simple step on how to put your video in this box instead of their video. So
I don't see the video, Donald, on mine. I pulled it up. How did you get that there?
So I switched it from lead generation to video view. So if you click to video view, you should see a video pop up here.
Good, thank you.
Okay. And the next one is video plus lead. So what we're doing is we're combining the first two into one. So now we've got our video here, as well as we're asking them for their email address and cell phone as option. So you're combining those two. As well as you have buyer leads, seller leads, renter leads, agent leads if you're doing agent attraction or you're recruiting, vendor leads, as well as none. Then you have content hijack. Not quite sure what contact hijack is. I've never used it. Don't anticipate seeing a need to use it. There must be a reason for it though. Don't know what it's for. Text. So here you're going to put text information. So if you want them to find out this information via text, so you're going to enter text code to your phone number, or a phone number that you want to use. I usually want their email information and their phone number. Address capture, this is their address, their home address, or an investment property address. But again, we can change whatever it is that we want here. And then you have Facebook chat. So you have a button for Facebook chat. Your second button here, I'm going to go back to lead generation, is your hashtags. If you want to use hashtags, you don't have to use hashtags. They're optional. I suggest using them, and use hashtags that are relevant to what it is that you're trying to do. Your submit button text, you'll see this right here. I'm going to change it to text. You notice it's changing the text of that button. That's all that does. URL. So if I want to take them after they give me their information and I want to take them to another site, another page, I would put that information in here. So let's say I was doing, I don't know, lead generation. Let's say I want to do lead generation and I want to take them to my KVCORE website or any other website. I would just put that website in here. This is not my KVCORE website. This is my personal website. And then it would take them to that page. I can require a phone number. So where it says phone optional, I can make it mandatory. So that's the difference of this button right here is you're taking away the option on cell phone. I now require you to put your phone number in here. Your background, you have many different backgrounds. This is the standard background that pops up. I can put in anything I want. Which is nice because now you're taking the background that's traditionally there that they give you and you're customizing it to your needs. You can also, at the bottom of the page, you can also customize your background or use a primary MLS image. So if you happen to use that, you're going to use an MLS number. And that'll pick up the picture that's on the MLS of what you're trying to do. Any questions there? Pretty self-explanatory, whether you're doing an open house, new construction, land, investment property, foreclosure. You can do all kinds of things there. And you're also, you have your lead types. So whether it's a buyer, seller, renter, agent, vendor, or none. And then you're just simply going to save. It's going to ask you, this is your website name is going to come up, says warning, you may not be able to save or edit this page, blah, 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 blah. Click edit. Now it's saved it. And that's what it's going to look like. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this link and I'm going to post it on Facebook somewhere. I'm not, but this is what I would do. I would come into Facebook. So now I have the image that I created, and it's your KVCORE website that they're going to for their free weekly list of hot buys in and around your town. I would take that off there. Looks nicer when it's not there, and put, you know, something to the effect, get your hot list, you know, click below or something. I would put something more fancier than that in there, but just for demonstrations, you put in whatever you want to put in there. When they click on this, they're coming to this page. Any questions?
There's a question in the chat. Are the landing pages automatically saved in KVCORE so you can use them again?
They will be saved in KVCORE.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Where do the properties come from that they're viewing? Do you put those in?
You're gonna, so let's get back over here. So you're gonna tell them, so they're gonna come from your MLS. So whatever.
Do I select them, or they're automatically going to just gut all the MLS?
Well, you're just asking, in this case, this is what we're here to get is their information. When we start adding in to the hot list, they're going to get whatever it is that you've provided to them. it's going to automatically come from your MLS though. In this case, all I'm trying to do in the lead generation part, I'm just trying to get their information. That's my goal, is to get their information, as well as provide whatever it is that I'm supposed to provide to them. So when they click on here, let's go through it. Save, click. So right now, that ding you just heard, that's KVCORE calling me to let me know that somebody just, and that's why I like this demonstration, is because now I know when I answer this call,
EPRESS1 to connect with this lead now. Press 2 to create a reminder in KVCORE to call them today. If you're not sure what to say, tell them you are Donald, search assistant for the website you were just on.
so basically, the nice thing about it is once I get that, you automatically get a phone call, and now you can carry on a conversation with them. You know they're on their phone, they're on a computer, they're on their tablet, searching or looking for information. Now it's easy to open up the conversation. Hey, you were just on our website. I'm calling you to see how it is that I can help you. What types of property are you looking for? Or whatever the lead, whatever kind of lead that you're looking for, that you're generating, whether it's a lead, whether it's any of these items here. But the goal is to get information so that you now have a contact to go out and reach to. The beauty about it is KVCORE, the way KVCORE operates, is KVCORE will let you know by dialing you right away. You notice how quick that was. It was very quick, and now I'm responding. Now in KVCORE, I now have a record of me getting called. So now I can email the person, I can provide a phone number, whatever it is that information that I've provided, I can go into. So if I click on their name, I can now make a phone call directly from KVCORE. I can add any notes after my conversation with them. I can send them an email. I can send them a text. I can do a voice drop. Or I can do a core video or core present. But the beauty about it is this keeps track of everything that you do. You got to do it through the system though. So if I make a phone call just from my phone, it's not going to be recorded. Where if I make the call through here, it'll document it and note that I made a phone call on this day, I did a text on that day, I sent an email. That's the nice thing about this. This is your CRM all built into it.
Hey, Donald.
Yeah.
I think the question a little bit ago, and I am sorry, I didn't see who it was that asked. So if they want distressed properties and they put in their email, couldn't you have an automatic search set up that they would get that list?
Yes.
So a list of 50 houses that are foreclosed on or whatever.
Right. Yep. Yeah, you can directly set that up so that when they did press on the send button, it'll send them there. The more important is now I can have a conversation with them. And I think that's really what we want, is to have a conversation with whoever's looking. Because it takes it from a cold conversation or a cold call right into a warm call. Yes, sir.
I didn't see where you clicked anything. I saw you put in your name and your email and your phone number.
Right here,
Did you click on one of them and I missed it?
right here.
No, let's get to list now, but which of these lists do they want?
Yeah. Again, the goal is to get their information. Once I click this, I'm going to the phone,
Okay.
because what happens when I go here, I don't know why it didn't come this time. Maybe because it's already got it booked. But if I did it as something else, it should ring your phone. So if I take me out of here,
It's funny too that KVCORE doesn't know that's you, even though your phone number's in there and your name's in there.
yeah.
Roger,
Every time I
yeah,
test up on KVCORE, it calls me and says, "Hi, Roger." And I was like, "Okay, if you know who I am, why are you calling me?"
Yeah.
So one of the things that if you wanted to send somebody foreclosures, you probably want to have a landing page strictly for foreclosures.
Right.
If you wanted to send them a list of newest listings, you're going to have a landing page just with newest listings. It's not going to be a click basis because I don't think you could put 4 different searches behind that landing page.
So that's why I didn't understand how that was working.
Correct.
Because all I see was he got a phone call.
Yeah.
I didn't see what a customer got put on any list.
Yeah. So these are just options right here. What I'm going to do up here is direct them to where the list went.
Oh, okay. I
So
missed
I'll
that.
create the list, put it on a website somewhere, or point them to where the information is, so that when they click here, they're going to go to that website.
Okay, thanks. That's what I missed.
Yeah, in this case, now that I've deleted my name out of my database, it will call me.
So for your hot list, do you need to create a squeeze page?
You can create a squeeze page. We're going to do squeeze pages next, but yes, you can create a squeeze page from a landing page. You'll direct them and send them to a squeeze page.
Okay. Any
Any questions on landing pages? And then we'll go right over to squeeze pages.
So there is, Amy says, can the 4 points in the middle change? Which, yes, that's true.
So these 4 points, we can change anything we want here. We can delete them. So now I've only gotten 3. You know, you can delete as many as you want. It's got to be a way to delete those. There we go. So now I've only gotten 2. Does that answer your question, Amy? Awesome.
I
Yes,
have
it
another
does.
question.
Yes.
I have another question. Once you create your landing page and you post it on Facebook, do you boost the that post, or do you put or do you go to the Facebook Ads Manager?
You could do either one, whichever you prefer, or you can just post it and not pay anything. Totally up to you.
Okay, thank you.
Because you are using Facebook ads when you're using KVCORE. You don't have to boost it.
Right. You could do, but you could do either or not at all. I happen to like squeeze pages, and you'll see why in a minute more. But this landing pages, the nice thing about landing pages is you're out there to get information. So you're looking to build your database. And the same thing with squeeze pages, but squeeze pages, you're providing information right away. So I'm going to get rid of that. Any questions before we go over to squeeze pages? Anything else?
There was one last question. So you can make a squeeze page for the hot list.
Yep. Yeah, yes, you can do that. All right, let's go over to squeeze pages in the same situation. Lead engine, and I'm going to build a squeeze page. Squeeze pages, the nice thing about squeeze pages is there's 4 different types of squeeze pages you can build. So right now at the top, it's going to be your KVCORE website is where it's going to be pointing towards. And the 4 options we have as far as squeeze pages is multi-property, single property, a seller squeeze page, which is primarily what is your home worth, and market reports. So you want to be able to demonstrate to people what properties are worth, what they've been selling for, things like that. The nice thing about squeeze pages is you can customize them any which way you want for the most part. And what I mean by that is multi-property pages are typically used for people who want to show multiple properties in their post so that when people click on the post, they can see multiple properties. And typically I use multiple properties because I don't carry a lot of listings. So I want to be able to use other people's listings without needing to ask them for their permission. That's when you'd want to use multiple properties. Single property is primarily your listing or a listing that you've asked somebody you can borrow. Can I borrow a listing? I don't have any listings. I'll ask Debbie from time to time. Can I borrow one of your listings? I want to advertise it. She'll say, sure. So I'll use the property. I'll use the single property instead of multiple properties. Seller squeeze page is just that. I'm looking for sellers' home values, and we'll go through all of these. And then, of course, market report. KVCORE is going to generate a market report for the area I'm talking about, or that I'm interested in. So let's start with multi-property. You're going to be asked the same sorts of information on any of the 4 squeeze pages. First thing you're going to be asked is, give me a city, county, or zip code. I'm going to use mine. I'm in the Villages. And as you start typing, you see it starts thinking. So the Villages, they have set up as a city. They also have set up as an area. They have it set up as a neighborhood. And now here's another area. So we have Lady Lake, the Villages, or we have the Villages. And then, of course, we have other areas that are in and around, or in the Villages or not in the Villages. A lot of these properties, a lot of these neighborhoods are not part of the Villages that I'm interested in. There's many different properties called the Villages. So just as an example, I'm going to pick neighborhood. You can also draw your map. I can drag this. I'm not in Sarasota, Florida. Further north of there. And the Villages is right here. So I can actually draw a map. So I'm going to draw, and I'm going to start here, go across, go here, go here, go down here, go down here, just as an example, and I can draw whatever area I want to draw. I want to zoom in further, I can zoom in further. Now I just want to, so I can clear that at any time, zoom in instead of zoom out. And let's say I just want this little area right here. So I'm going to pick up all the homes in this area. So that's one little, what we call village here of homes. So that might have 600, 700, 800, 900 homes in it. So I only want that area. This is how you would do a very specific area. Or you can put a neighborhood or a city or what have you here. Here we're going to put in the listing type, whether it's commercial space, residential, land, mobile homes, pendings, rentals, single family, townhomes, villas. You have a large condos. You have a large category to choose from. I'm just going to keep it simple. It's single family homes. Under style, you're going to pick the style of home. In this case, I'm going to go back to single family, but as you can see, as I scroll down, there's a big selection to choose from. So, all right, where are we? Single family. Single family residence. Price range. I only want to look at homes from 300,000 to 500,000. Square footage, you could put minimum, maximum square footage in here. You could put number of acres, square footage as far as property goes. Quarter acre, half acre, acre, 3/4 acre, whatever it is that you'd like to put in here. You could put number of bedrooms. I want a minimum of 3 bedrooms. I want a minimum of 2 baths. But as you can see, you have a selection. Or you can just leave it as any. Walk score. Any, somewhat walkable, very walkable, walker's paradise. I usually leave it empty unless I have a client who's or a customer that's very interested in walking trails. Your options, as you can see, you have all kinds of options here. Pools, foreclosures, short sales, not depressed, leased, all kinds of stuff. I'm only looking for, in this case, and then of course you have your garages, master on main, air conditioner, basement, deck, all kinds of things. No HOA fees, golf courses, but I'm going to just look at adult 55 plus. I typically don't do all of this. I'll put the villages in and I'll put a price range in. If a customer asks me specifically, I only want to be in a home that's 1,500 square foot and bigger, I'm doing that. Here where I live, you don't have acres. You have little tiny stamp lots, what I call a stamp lot. They're very small for the most part. So that's pretty much your search criteria is all on the left-hand side. Any questions there?
I have a question. Is this just for buyers, or it sounds like it's oriented to buyers? Like you're searching for them.
So that's what you are.
Want to hunt for some Sellers.
So buyers are you're gonna use multi-property and single property, right? You're advertising properties. So you're looking for buyers. At the same time, though, you're also showing sellers what you're doing, right? So I'm advertising, I'm showing these properties, and sellers look at that as well. When we get to seller squeeze page, you'll see how we attract sellers. When we get to page configuration, we're going to Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, what have you on that side. So in this case, I'm just going to do Facebook. Hashtags, you have all kinds of hashtags you can do. So if you want to create hashtags, there are some already in the system. So I'm only looking for cash buyer. But you can put in whatever it is that you want. So as you can see, there's all different kinds of hashtags that you can put in here. And of course you can put your own in there. Facebook cover page, I always leave blank, but you have 5 options to choose from. You have use recent list from your agency. You can use the lowest price. You can start at the highest price, a random list of properties, or you can use photo specific listings. I typically leave it blank, but it's totally up to you. This is where you're going to ask for their information, right? After so many property views, do you want them to register? The default is 2. Immediate, you're probably going to turn them off. And some people put never. So I don't need them to register. If they want to register, great, but they don't have to register to see my site. And then this is where your links come up. So you have your direct link and you have your short link. Your short link is really just a bit.ly, if you will, of the direct link. So I click on generate link. I'm going to take this link before I ever put it in Facebook or wherever. I'm going to copy. I'm going to create a new tab. I'm going to paste it into the window, and I'm going to test it to make sure that it is what I want it to be. So this is saying I've got 35 properties, 7 new, 10 have been reduced. There's 8 open houses. There's no foreclosures, no short sales. And of course, I'm only seeing 4. That is available right now through that page. So as you can see, it's my page, my brokerage, and then whatever it is that I have set up under my KVCORE site. So now when I click on here, view details, right now, it's not cooperating. All right, there we are. So that's the property. So that's the first property. Obviously, it comes up with all of my information here. And then it also comes up and tells you who the listing brokerage is, as well as all the detail regarding the property. Property address, it's a single family home, it's priced at $450. All the detail information, the property description that the listing agent put in, as well as the MLS, what county it's in, city, so on and so forth. Number of bedrooms, number of baths, square footage, and lot square footage. So now when I go back, being that I had 2 on my configuration, it's going to start asking me questions. right, so that was the second one. It should ask me here. Not sure why it's not asking me actually, because I asked it, property views allowed to default. Oh, that's right. I'm still testing it. That's why. I'm still on my page. So when I post it on Facebook, now that I know that it's what I wanted it to be, I'm going to take that short link and I'm going to post it on Facebook. Looking for $1,000 to $500,000. Three-bedroom, two-bath. You put in whatever it is that you want to put in there. And then you post it. So now I'm going to post that. And this is what it looks like. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to click on it and it's going to take me to that page that I checked. Now I'm going to view properties. So I'm going to see all the pretty pictures and all the information. I can chat with me now. I can ask the agent a question, all those sorts of things. I could print a flyer, do all of those things. But I'm going to go to another post because it should ask me for my information now, which is kind of interesting that it's not doing that. KVCORE not playing pretty tonight. Don't know why it's not asking me to register. Guess I'll need to check with them in the morning.
What if you click on third property?
Yeah, that's what I just did.
Oh, okay.
This will be a fourth one. Let's see if it starts. All right, there it goes. KVCORE is now finally calling me. I don't know why it took so long. But it's got my information from Facebook, is what it did. But it's as easy as that. That's squeeze pages and landing pages, primarily. So let's go back. Let's go back to the squeeze pages. Any questions on the multi-property and why I would do multi-property? So when I'm here, I can now see multiple properties, right? Whatever's available, I can see.
How did you get to that page though? I don't see how all of that magically went that we did on this KVCORE lead engine page. into that pretty blue one,
Okay, so,
like that one right there.
okay, so what I did was I took this link, the short link, off of KVCORE. So here's the multi-property squeeze page that we created. I took that short link and I copied it. I opened up a new window and I pasted that link in there because I want to make sure it looks good before I send it out.
Right. So how did you get the long link? And I know how you get the short link. It makes it for you, right?
Yes.
But where did you get the links to put in?
The links of these properties?
So is that what it is? It's the link from each of those properties that I copy and I paste and I put in that box over there.
No,
That link directly.
He generated the link back on your squeeze page. Show her
Yeah.
that.
so on the squeeze page, I'm asking for properties that are 300 to 500,000.
Okay.
1,500 square foot minimum, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So I'm asking, basically what KVCORE is doing is KVCORE is asking the MLS, give me everything with this search criteria and bring it up.
And then
when I-
on the right-hand side there, you see you generate the link.
Yeah, so you've got both links. For me, I like the short link because I don't want to have to copy this whole, copy and
Okay.
paste this whole
I
link.
got
I
it.
use the short link instead.
All right. You're a good teacher. I got it.
So, well, that's good. And please stop me anywhere along the line, but that's how we get this page. I create the short link. And if you look at the long link, this is the long link. So that short link actually populates the long link in it when you do it, into the tab when you do it.
Another question, are you posting this on your personal Facebook versus a business?
You can do it. I do it on both. I do it on both. This is my
I have another,
this is my personal page right here.
I have another question.
Yeah.
When you posted your squeeze page on Facebook and then you clicked on it, how come it didn't ask you for your information after 2 views?
I don't know. I'll have to check with KVCORE in the morning.
Oh,
Not sure why it didn't do that. It should have done that. So like right here, this is the first view.
If you would put in a dummy one, it would. I think it's because you're already in there.
Yeah.
So
I
if
think
you
this
put
is-
in
I
Joe
think this is-
Blow,
I think this is because this is my page,
right?
is why.
Because I just sent one to you and it made your phone ring.
Okay. Gotcha. So,
Really neat stuff.
yeah, so, I mean, and it's free. We're,
Yeah.
it's already in the system. It builds it for you. That's why I like squeeze pages. I can create a squeeze page within minutes. Literally 2-3 minutes, you're done. Now I've got something to post.
Wow.
And it looks nice. Any other questions? And get rid of the landing page.
how often do you create these squeeze pages and post them on Facebook?
You can post every day if you want, but I live in a community that people are looking at homes every single day. What I would do is change it up from time to time, right? So I might on Monday, I might post homes that are 300,000 to 500,000. On Wednesday, I might post homes that are 500 to 750. And then on Friday, I might post 750 and higher. Totally how you want to manage it. Totally up to you. And the other nice thing is I can bounce from community to community. I can do the villages today. Tomorrow I can do Spruce Creek South. Wednesday I could do, Stonecrest. I could do multiple communities. Totally up to you how you want to manage that and do that.
A lot of people are starting to look for foreclosures, so create a list of lower end foreclosure type homes for flippers, investors.
Yep.
Where are you seeing foreclosures?
I think that's an option in there,
It is.
but yeah,
On the drop,
yeah. Investors are always looking for the bargain, and you have to know your own market to know what a bargain is. So
Where was it?
but are you seeing many foreclosures in your market?
No,
Yeah.
no, the market's still too hot here. It's still a seller's market here. I think here's where it was. So foreclosures right there, short sales. I think here in the next year or two, we'll start seeing short sales foreclosures really get hot. Maybe not. Any other questions on the multi-property? Let's go to single property. Single property, I now want to show just a single property instead of multiple properties. And now what it's doing is, as you notice, there's only four things to fill out. This one is, you're going to give me the address. Oh, no property found because my home is not for sale. But if I wanted to go to, I'll use this one as an example. I'm going to do Facebook as a source. I'm going to put hashtag in here. Sale.
use 765 Leslie.
765.
Leslie. That's one of the EXP agents.
Okay, so you feel free to put a hashtag in there to default, and that's it. So now I'm going to take the short link, just like I did on the multi property, and I am going to check the link to make sure it's good and valid. And there's the property. That's what we call a patio villa here. Again, my information is here, even though it's not my listing. You've got a brief description here, all of the MLS information, and it's an EXP agent. And this is our MLS here. So it kind of gives you your brief history on the price. Price went down. Imagine that in not quite a month. But anyway, gives you the rest of your information. So you're just looking at one property. That's all you're going to see. You're not going to see any other properties here.
The thing to remember is you have to have the listing agent's permission to advertise theirs.
Right.
So
if it's not yours, yes.
If it's not yours, you want to have that in writing. Do not call them up and ask them.
Yeah. Email preferably and get their permission to advertise their listing, whether it's another EXP agents or not. Just professional courtesy. More times than none, most agents are not going to mind you advertising their property. But you still want to ask for their permission.
Can you still go up top and hit search and go someplace else, look at others?
Yeah.
No, you did this one. This is one you did is trying it. So no, on the blue area, they got search over there too. I was just wondering on the right-hand side. Yeah, you can use that still.
Yep. Yeah.
But then it brings up all the homes. Okay. So it's a little It says
Again,
it's
this is
single
just
party,
me
single
checking.
property, but it still lets you do more, right?
Yeah, you can still do more. Yeah, yeah, you're on the KVCORE website at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on your KVCORE website, or they're on your KVCORE website at that point. They can still search anything, and they're still going to see everything that you have on your website. This is all my website information up here. Right. And of course, I've got me, call me, contact me now, save it, which is a nice little feature, because when you go back and you look at your customers and they've looked at 10 properties and they've red-hearted 2 of them, you know which properties they've saved now. You know which properties they're interested in. So it gives you more insight into what it is that they're liking. Any question on the single property? It can't be 8 o'clock already.
So I haven't been doing it this way you're doing it here. You talk about it. I usually just do it if I have a listing or if I have an open house. But you say you do this, just grab some every now and then and put out there?
Yep. That's why I use the multi-property mostly. If it's my property, my listing, I'll single property it. But if I
You getting leads off of that?
Yep. So that's when you go to your dashboard. These are all leads. These are all leads.
Have you converted any of them?
A few of them.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them, like this person here, she's actually out of Seattle. Who was I talking to earlier from Seattle? She's a broker out there though. She's looking to buy here. So, so yes. And again, the beauty about it is
she's all over the place.
You now know what they're looking for, right?
Well, she has to buy from you because she's not licensed here, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So go ahead and show the one for the seller side, because it is 8 o'clock.
Yeah, can't believe it's 8 o'clock already. So let's go to lead engine. We're going back to squeeze pages. We're going to seller squeeze. Very simple, very easy. Facebook or whatever, LinkedIn, your hashtags and your location. You just start typing and it will populate. Over time, generate your link. I'm going to copy, paste.
Do we have to pay for the Google and the Facebook ones?
You don't,
advertising?
You can if you want. I just post them.
Facebook is free. This is not going to Google.
Right. This is not going to Google. Yeah. If you want to take it and put it on Google and do an ad there, sure. You can do a Facebook ad. You can do Instagram ads.
And you have to pay for those.
Correct.
But Facebook, you don't.
Facebook, if you can just post it like a regular post, any other post that you would do, and you're fine. If you want to post it and advertise it and use your ads manager, you can do that as well. So this is what you're going to get for the seller page. You're basically building a what's your home worth page, and you're going to put your address in there. 123 Main Street or whatever. Let's see, Chris, here's one. So this home, I've also got some blogs down there, but basically what it's doing is taking you to my home. It's thinking about it now and coming up with a value. So now it's taking you, it's created a CMA. I'm going to download it, text it, view comparables, and go from there. So in my case, here's the download. This home is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,742 square feet, valued based on their opinion, $272,000. I'm not sure that that's real value, but, or that's what it sold for in 2014, I'm sorry. Adjusted property value is about 360, value range is 350 to 370, and comparable value of 362, 638. Very simple, kind of telling you where the prices are, the properties, what they sold for, what date, how many bedrooms, baths, square footage, acreage, and number of days on market. Very simple CMA, no meat and potatoes to it. It's an entry in and for you to get their information type stuff. Make sense? Any questions? That page is very easy. All you're really doing is putting in your city and then creating. Last thing is your market report. I'm going to do the same thing here and put in the villages. I'm going to do neighborhood. I'm going to do Facebook. You don't have to put anything there. I'm going to do hashtags, generate the link, take the link, copy, paste it. And that'll give them the market report. Now, I will tell you from my own experience, you want to be very careful with these market reports because some of them are accurate, some of them not so much. So you want to be very careful. I don't know. So this is saying the average home price is $489. I would question that, but this is basically what you're giving, what they're going to see. I don't like giving out market reports this way, but that's me. But you have it at your fingertips. You want to verify that it's somewhat accurate before you put it out to the public, because other people are going to call you on it if it's not. You're going to get realtors, you'll get clients who actually watch the market and go, there's no way, that's not possible that the average price is that. And that's really it for the squeeze page.
So was that low or high?
I think that's high.
You think it's high?
Yeah.
Well, some of the ones we were looking at were 450.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 The thing I think it does on this one is if there's a whole lot more what I'll call 200 version of homes, 200,000 come on, it's going to show that the market went down because it says it's went down 26% there.
Right.
Well, that's only the listings value have went down by 26. So we've listed more lower price homes in however many days they count there. Right. Versus if we got a whole lot more higher price homes, that would go up. So, but that's not the way a buyer or a seller would interpret that. They would think our prices went down 26%.
Which they clearly haven't.
Right. Yeah. And so that's why our market is so different. So try it in your own market. You can see what it does for you. Scroll down a little bit more because it shows you recent listings, what's the most expensive. Popular. Yeah. I'd like to sell that 1.1.
Right.
You know, and then keep on going just a hair more.
Well, I'd sell the 1.17.
Yeah. And then, you know, it does let them subscribe if they want to see more, right. Which I think is the best part of the whole market report.
Yeah.
Can you show Amy how to change the registration period?
Yes. It tells me I have to register to view a market report when I put in that short little link to check?
Oh, I didn't
How do
see that on that page of it. So that's coming from KVCORE.
This is coming from KVCORE.
No, I mean, hers, as soon as she went to the market report, it said, please register. So is KVCORE got this one set to register right away? I think it does, right?
Let's see if it does.
How do I get rid of that?
See, it's not in the page configuration.
Yeah.
So it's coming from KVCORE settings, the website settings.
Yeah, it must be in the website settings somewhere. Because it's not in the,
So it's probably in Web IDX or no, it'd be in the. It had
They're
to be there.
speaking Greek.
yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it here as an option. So
If you go up top and
Okay.
click edit your web page, that's where you would see it. So you're in this page here. You're not gonna see it. You're not in KVCORE now. All the way. You're on the Squeets page. So
yeah, this is KVCORE. You're
Yeah,
talking
so-
about the website
you have
itself?
to go to the website and edit the website.
I think on the market report, just like if you want your value, you have
think
to
it-
enter your info right away.
Yeah, I think it's default where it says make them register.
Right, I do
Okay.
too.
Okay.
I don't think you have an option.
You
On
can edit
the
the
other
settings,
ones, you-
Donald, on right above your picture where it says edit settings, right
Yep.
there. You can go there and just go down through here and you'll see all the different settings.
Right. Right.
But I think because they're asking for a market report, it wants you to be alerted that someone's asking for that in case it's not right. You can call them up.
Well, and that's why I don't use the market report from here. I actually go to the MLS and generate a
don't see
market
that.
report.
I don't see the CMAs doing that well either here. You know, what's my house worth?
Right.
In my market, I don't see it doing very well.
No.
well, what's your house worth? 5 years ago, that was a great thing because not many people had it. But in today's world, everybody has it and everybody's overused it. So KVCORE to me is great for buyers. It's not too good for sellers.
You know, everybody goes to Zillow and Zillow says that your Z estimate is $12 million. Oh, good. My house is really worth something now.
Right. Yeah. But meanwhile, the CEO of Zillow, I think his house was off by $1 million.
Something like that.
I know mine was off by $100,000 when I sold my house in Georgia.
But Amy, in answer to your question, we think that's the default, that they have to register, so you're alerted that they're doing it.
Okay.
And the other ones are usually default to two properties.
We
But you
sold
can
our,
change that. You can change that on the squeeze page and set it to register right away or not register at all.
we sold our condo in Incline Village, Nevada. Our estimate was off by 600,000.
Wow.
Yikes.
I
Wow.
thought RPR was pretty good. I found RPR was off by about
Yeah.
250,000 on one
Well,
house.
and Roger, that's the type of information you want to make sure is as accurate as possible, right? Because that's what people are basing to some degree, your professionalism. That's why I'm not crazy about sending out market reports or things like that, unless I'm the one sending it out. I'm the one who generated and believe in what I'm sending out.
Well, RPR works very good in our area if the house is already on the market and has a price on it. Because then it uses agent valuation method.
Right.
But the one thing I have found with RPR is if you had a for sale by owner or a trust transfer that was off the market, they'll pick that up.
Will it? Okay.
So you just have to really check your comps.
Yep. Any questions?
That came to bite me again. It was off by a couple 100,000, came to bite me in the Bay Area. And I had an agent calling me up saying, why can you ask this price because of this sale?
Yeah, I didn't use the price they said. I just saw it when we were going through trying to do that evaluation on a house. There was no houses on the market at that time in that area. And
Okay, so
Go for it. Go for it, Amy.
I have another question. So I've been looking on my MLS and I have it's CRS prospecting, I think is what it's called. And so now I have a bunch of names of seniors that live in an area that have two-story houses, a lot of hills and stuff from the hill country here. And so I've picked their names out. So, and their addresses. And so I want to put that content into KVCORE somehow magically, and then they get information about aging in place, and maybe they want another home, a one story, something like that. How do I do that?
So I would say be very careful. Anytime you get data and you just import it and then just start calling, texting, emailing, you're breaking some rules there.
Okay.
Right. So if they're on the do not call list, you don't want to get those fines. You want to be very careful how you
How do I find out if they're on the do not call list?
You have to go to what's it, the FCC?
Yeah,
you
do
could
not call.gov.
Do not call.gov. That's it.
Yeah, you could go ahead and
Amy?
run an ad and let them come to you.
Right.
You could run an ad on Facebook saying, if you're in this area and you're looking to downsize, are you looking for this information, the aging in place or whatever? So I think Debbie and them set it up before. We have a good one on that. So just run an ad on Facebook asking them to come to you.
Right.
Yeah.
So run a squeeze page with single family 1-story homes. Do a
Run a
squeeze page with just 1-story homes. But the thing that I will tell
Yeah.
you, Amy, I've done more that's been successful is, and Donald hears me say this over and over and over, people want stats. They want to know real data, not what your home worth. So if that's all, let's say in a community, I don't know what you pulled, but if you can pull stats and send them an RPR type report that is accurate, or do a postcard that says, here's the latest, greatest that have sold in your area. There's companies that will do that for you if you don't have the technical knowledge or time to do it. But they want stats, and they will save that postcard for a long time until they're ready to get rid of that 2-story and say, well, Amy sent me this. Let's see what she says now.
Okay. Okay. That's good information. Thank you, guys.
And then once you get them where you have them as a warm lead, then you put them into KVCORE. You don't want a lot of cold leads in your KVCORE.
Okay.
That's not to say not to reach out to them one way or another. All I'm saying is be careful when you have cold leads. Make sure they're not on the do not call list.
She'd still do a postcard too for a direct mail to all
Absolutely.
in a neighborhood,
Yeah.
through the
Absolutely.
whole neighborhood, and say,
Right.
you know, I'm
Yeah,
the local realtor in your area, and if you're thinking of doing this or doing that, or just introduce yourself to them.
Yeah. If you have Remime in your MLS, Remime is a great way to get information out, send postcards out automatically. And there's several other programs out there that do it as well.
Just Facebook costs nothing. The mailing does.
Mhm.
So
you could try both.
Wonder if I
Yeah.
can get their Facebook information. I guess
Well,
I can Googling.
Does Remind also give you phone numbers?
I
Not
don't
to my
believe
knowledge.
so. It's really used more for doing mailers is what I've seen it being used for. Right?
Remind phone numbers in my area.
They do.
Yes, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, it'll say like sellers and other person's information. Now, I don't know how accurate they are because I use it primarily for mailings as well, rather than calls, but there are some phone numbers on there.
Again, you still want to be very careful. You don't want to get slapped. I forget what the fine is now.
$10,000.
no,
How much?
No, it went up
It went up, yeah?
$45,000.
$45,000.
Yeah, it was 10.
You want to be very careful with the cold calling stuff.
And that's one of those ones that you can't beg for forgiveness.
Yeah, they want their money too.
Amy, back on Facebook, Facebook got hit with targeting people certain ages. So
Oh.
now on Facebook, you cannot target by 55 plus, which is a detriment now for us. So that doesn't work real well. But tomorrow after Donald puts the recording up for this, I will put a couple of postcard companies that automatically do this for you. I mean,
Okay.
it's slick. It's $1 a piece or more, you know, but you don't have to do anything except tell them where you want to market to.
Okay.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to do these things. The thing with Facebook, if you're going to try to attract a certain age category, what you want to do is put your description and word it a certain way that you
Like what?
that you can still get your point across.
How would you word something like that?
Empty nester, maybe?
So
that
you
again.
could do interest of they are interested in retirement.
Right.
That's one of the key things. They're interested in pensions. They're interested in, I forgot what some of the other terminology is, but look at the word interest when you're running a Facebook ad.
Oh,
Right. Are you interested in a retirement community in Central Florida? Something like that.
Are you interested in a one-story home?
Yeah. Yeah, it's, you almost have to become a marketer these days. You have to figure it out. You know, we all do. Try to figure out the different angles to go through. Because as Debbie said, they are making it more and more difficult to get it done.
So Janice puts, you can download 2,500 approximately records a month for mailing labels and CSVs free of charge.
Who does
And
that?
RPO.
Say that again.
In the chat, she says RPO lets you download and she's got 2,500 question mark records a month for mailing labels and CSV free of charge.
Very good. Thank you.
I have another question. When you use dialers like Vulcan 7 or Red, or was it Red Mojo, I think it's called, do any of those scrub the numbers for you so you won't get in trouble if you call someone that's on the do not call list?
Land Voice, I know does. They'll either mark it with on the list or not on the list, or you can say, only give me ones that's not on the do not call list. They'll scrub it. But I think they may charge extra for scrubbing.
Land
And
Voice.
Land Voice. It's
And I
Land
think
Voice,
the other,
Vulcan,
yeah,
Vulcan 7 and Red X.
Red
They-
X. Well,
They all do that?
I know Land Voice does. I think they do. I don't know about the other two because I haven't talked to them before.
Red X does.
Does it?
Yeah.
Any other questions? I want to
Thank
thank
you.
everybody for hanging in there. We're
Thank
20
you.
minutes, 21 minutes past the hour, but
It was interesting. That's fine.
just want to make sure everybody gets everything answered.
Appreciate it.
Any
What do
other-
you mean by scrubbing when you were saying, when you were talking about?
Go through
scrubbing?
the list and look and say, okay, Amy's number, let me check it. Amy's is on the do not call list.
Right.
Cross hers out. Rogers is not on the do call list. Donald's isn't. Okay. Peggy's is, Debbie's is, so they go through the list and compare it to other sources to figure out. Sometimes they'll scrub it enough to tell you that the address is good or not. They give you correct the address.
Right.
Right. And sometimes they'll even give you their social media addresses. But basically what they're doing when we say scrubbing, they're looking at it and make sure the information is good and make sure that it's not on a do not call list.
Yeah, all they're doing is doing a comparison of the do not call list against the numbers that you're providing.
And every one I get on just every list I download, it seems like I go through and check it, and every one of them's on the do not call list anymore. I think everybody is anymore.
My numbers are, but I'm a realtor, so my number's all over the planet. Because I put it out there.
Correct.
We all are.
Hi,
Yeah.
Donald.
Thank
We're calling
you,
about
everybody.
your car warranty.
Yeah. Oh, I got 100 million of those calls. Thank you, everybody. If you have any questions, the recording will be posted tomorrow. Put your questions in there and I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you. You did a good job.
Thanks.
Yep. Good job. Thanks,
Appreciate it.
everybody. Thank you,
Good
Donald.
night.
Have a
See
good
you
night,
next week.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, Donald.
Thank you. You're welcome. Have a good evening, what's left of it.